And even though thousands of seniors died in nursing homes under his watch, New York Governor Andrew Cuomo getting an International Emmy Award for his effective use of television during the pandemic.
The people of New York went from fear of the unknown to increasing knowledge of what was known and a sense that somebody had a plan.
It is a frightening time on every level. Catching the flu right now is a much greater risk than anything that has anything to do with coronavirus.
More on the amazing leadership of King Covidius Cuomo. Leadership, something so important. Watch this clip and take notes on how to behave. Take notes on leadership.
But Governor, following Jimmy's question, are the schools going to be open tomorrow?
The schools are open by state law.
Will they be open tomorrow? That's the question. I think Jimmy's correct in asking that question. I don't think it's obnoxious at all.
Well, I don't really care what you think.
Oh boy, remember that. That's real leadership. I mean, showing respect, right? You got to always show respect. I don't care what you think. I'm the king, right? Look at my throne over here. I don't care what you think. Write that down right now. That's number one.
Of course, you agree with him because you're in the same business with him.
I love that. I love that. I agree with the other guy from the media because you guys are in the same business. You guys are not honest. You know, he's starting to sound a little bit like that guy in Washington, right? What's his name? Trump? The things he accuses Trump of. You guys are all together, right? Unbelievable. Now, that was number two, okay? A lot to learn here. Let's see what else, other pearls of wisdom that this governor has. He wrote a book on leadership. Let's hear. He doesn't look too happy.
The schools, by state law...
Why is he not happy? King.
Well, what is the answer to your question? What is the answer to your question?
I don't know what the answer is.
Yes, you do.
You said...
When does the state close the schools?
When you get to an orange zone, which you're suggesting could happen, but is not necessarily happening by tomorrow.
So then what are you asking? You just answered your own question.
Boy, this is a guy who holds press conferences every single day for the last God knows how many years, right? Press conference, press guy. He's the expert. And he's usually very cool and very relaxed. Why is he upset? What's wrong, King? King, what's wrong? What's bothering you? Tell us, what is bothering you? Let's see if he has any other wonderful concepts of leadership. But why is he so... you got to look at this frame. He's very not happy.
The other week you said...
Excuse me.
But on one hand, you have granted Bill de Blasio the kind of oversight of his schools. And there are rumors that the number in New York City will rise above 3%, which would trigger closing of schools. Now, you have just said that...
By the way, you could just see he's trying to figure out what to say. He knows he's in trouble. He doesn't like this, He likes when the media agrees with him. He likes when the media calls him King Covidius Cuomo. But, they're not buying it today. I don't know why. They're not buying it today. They're giving him a rough time. He does not look like a happy camper.
The orange zone could be in the offing for the entirety of New York City, which would also close schools, but your number is 2.5. So I guess just the point-blank question is, are schools going to be open tomorrow in New York
Let's
City?
do it again for you, because maybe gets confusing.
No. Come on. You're the guy who's confused. The people asking you the questions, they're asking legitimate questions because you are confused with many of your policies. So, let's get this clear. You're the guy who's confused.
Over the days and nights. Schools set their own, 700 school districts. They all set their own number. That's the number.
You notice how he's not speaking in his regular tone, like slow. Do you know why? Because the king is trying to figure this one out. He knows he's in trouble. He knows he's in trouble with the media. The king is in trouble. You know, maybe he should get one of his aides sitting to the right or left of him to remove some of these reporters and chop their heads off. Maybe that's what they should do. Oh, yeah, King, why don't you do that? Chop their heads off. They'll never ask you another tough question, I guarantee.
Unless they fall into a microcluster.
Oh, micro. We should do a song on that. It's fun. This is really fun. It's good to laugh a little.
The microcluster overrides the local rules. Yellow, orange, red.
What about blue?
If it's buffalo,
Blue's my favorite color.
I don't
what happened to
even
blue?
know the buffalo.
I think we've heard enough. I mean, great lessons for leadership, how to behave, how to be respectful. King Cuomo, thank you so much. And to finally, a couple of other lessons from King Covidius Cuomo that I think are very, very important. Let me share these with you. Get your pencil, pen, or crayon out. Here are a couple of real important points from the king. Blaming others for your failures. Keep that in mind. It's never your fault. It's someone else's fault. Doesn't really matter who. It's not your fault. Remember that whatever happens, it's not your fault. Just don't teach your kids this. Using fear to scare people into submission. Wow, that's important. That's what he needs to do with some of these reporters who are out of line. They're out of line being tough. You gotta scare them, create fear. Then they'll behave. By the way, this is the ultimate lesson. Write this one down. Ultimate leadership. Sending corona patients to nursing homes. Result, 10,000 dead. Remember that, and never take responsibility. And finally, very important, when all else fails, blame the Jews. That's an easy one. It's the Jews. Thank you, King Covidius Cuomo, for these wonderful lessons that we continue to learn, and we will continue to share it with the American people. Thank you, King.